members of the Bharat Scouts and Guides, great Tamil leaders, and everyone. I welcome you all with great enthusiastic energy for the grand start of the Red Pride Master Highway celebration. Let's not forget to pray today, because God didn't forget to wake us up in this morning. Prayer is the key that unlocks all the storehouse of God's infinite grace and power. Hence, to unlock that grace and power, let us rise up for the BSG prayer. I request the ITT to share the screen.
दया कर दान भक्ति का हमें परमात्मा देना, दया करना हमारी आत्मा में शुद्धता देना, हमारे ज्ञान में आओ प्रभु, आँखों में बस जाओ, अंधेरे दिल में आकर के परम ज्योति जगा देना, बहा दो प्रेम की गंगा, दिलों में प्रेम का सागर, हमें आपस में मिलजुल कर प्रभु रहना सिखा देना, हमारा कर्म हो सेवा, हमारा धर्म हो सेवा, सदा ईमान हो सेवा, वो सेवक चर बना देना, वतन के वास्ते जीना, वतन के वास्ते मरना, वतन पर जान फिदा करना, प्रभु हमको सिखा देना, दया कर दान भक्ति का हमें परमात्मा देना, दया करना हमारी आत्मा में शुद्धता देना।
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Thousands of candles be lighted from a single can. Happiness never decreases by being shared. So now, I request our RTD to share virtual lamp lightning.
शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः, शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः, शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते, दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते, शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः, शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः।
Thank you, RTD. A good start now. Chandan is a welcome thing. It brings lots of happiness. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to call one of our dynamic and supportive leader, Ms. Darshana Pavaskar, Joint Director of Guides and Bharat Scouts and Guides, India, to come up with welcome address. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, and a very warm welcome to all the members present here at the MS Day celebration. MS Day, Menstrual Health Hygiene. Yes, menstruating is a very regular term for a female when it is considered. Right. I do welcome our dignified guest, Anarben Patel, our Deputy International Commissioner, who will be joining us soon. I also welcome Dr. Deepa Pavaskar, gynecologist and trustee of Adarsh Med Trust, Dr. Arushi Keher Malhotra, gynecologist from Sirona Hygiene Foundation, Amit Ayush, NUND Communications and Digital Officer, Civic and Youth Engagement Officer, Mr. Prakhar Gupta, State Lead at Divya Jyoti Development Center, Ms. Ankita Sachdev, founder of Exceptional, member of UNICEF by Bash, Ms. Tomar, Country project manager for Her Word and Her Voice project taken by BSG along with WAGS. Yes, for the last 3 years, BSG has been working on creating awareness on menstrual health hygiene. The first year, it was a very difficult task because the girls were not ready to speak about it, not ready to hear about it. But last year was a very good one where we had a poll where the girls came out, spoke about the issue with menstrual hygiene, the thought, the stigma which goes around in the society. That was when the Red Pride team, BSG, came into existence, and we at BSG are committed to create this awareness to reduce the stigma which is connected with menstrual hygiene. And the team of BSG as on date is being enlarged, over 10,000 members are part, and they're ready to speak about menstrual hygiene. They're ready to speak about the Red Pride. Yes, being a female, being a feminist, I do speak and I do feel proud. Yes, I'm a mother. I bleed. And because I bleed, you all exist. With this, I really thank all the mothers, all the girls, all the male folk of Bharat Scouts and Guides, the Scout Wing, who have been supporting and speaking about the stigma to create awareness and not be shy about this. Today, this webinar is also going to speak about what we have done in this Red Pride Celebration Week, which we celebrated, along with Wash United, along with World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, and along with Serona Foundation. Dr. Ayushi has been very helpful in taking trainings as a gynecologist and bursting the myth around this sensitive topic about menstruation. With this, I hand it over to the team who have really worked hard in creating awareness, making those bracelets, creating those slogans, and let us all enjoy and celebrate this evening, creating awareness on menstrual hygiene. Thank you. Welcome all.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm welcome and the official beginning of the event. Smile is the best way of introducing. Now, I would like to call upon Ms. Harsha Suresh to introduce our guest of
मेरा
honor.
कैमरा ऑफ है हाँ ऑफ है
Thank you, Mr. Ritik. It is a moment of extreme pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to our today's guest of honor, Ms. Ankita Sahadeo, an educator with visually impaired disability, founder of Exceptionals, and a member of UNICEF YPAT at Yuva India. Exceptionals is a budding NGO which is working for and with differently abled persons. She is so responsive in nature, expressive in character, lovely by beauty. A gracious welcome to you, Ms. Ankita, and I'm really excited to share the virtual stage with you. So with that enthusiastic energy, I welcome Ms. Ankita to our virtual celebration of Red Pride Menstrual Hygiene Day 2022.
Thank you so much. Am I audible to everyone? Yes, I hope I am. So, yeah, that is a bit about me, that I started an initiative called Exceptionals, in which I am working for and with exceptionals or persons with disability. So when we talk about the term disability and girl with disability, these are two different things. Disability brings you one problem, one challenge. But when you're a girl with disability, you are supposed to face the challenges of two separate groups at one time. So you become a person with double disability. I'm not saying that being a girl is being disabled. All I'm saying is, being a girl, you are supposed to face lots and lots of challenges. But when you're a girl with disability, your challenges multiply. Right? And if we come to the topic of menstruation, whole sort of taboos and stigmas are associated with it. When you're a girl with disability, responsibility and you're dealing with your menstrual cycle, your period, you are supposed to take care of your hygiene, of your health, of your clothes, that they should not stain, so that nobody laughs on you, so that you're clean from everywhere, you don't catch any kind of infection, right? So it becomes a little bit more difficult when you have a visual impairment, when you are orthopedically challenged, or when you are intellectually disabled. Why it becomes difficult? Have you ever thought so? It becomes difficult because you cannot see whether your napkin is clean or you need to change it. Yes, you can put some tricks and techniques in place to reduce your challenges, but again, using those techniques in itself demands lots and lots of innovation and creativity, right? So if you are an intellectually disabled person, especially a girl, then you sometimes cannot understand that which side is the correct side to put it on, how to tape it, how to remove it, how to dispose, but nobody really thinks about it. So what we do is, in order to reduce the challenges, we just need to start talking about such issues. We need to start thinking about such issues, right? We can work on touch sense for the persons with visual impairment. We can improve their touch sense to such an extent that they can know whether it's clean or not just with the help of their touch and not without using their vision. In case of intellectually disabled people, we can work on their adaptive behavior. These are not very difficult tasks, but yes, they demand your attention, they demand your time, they demand your effort. Are we all ready to put that effort? We should, I guess, so that this whole society becomes a better place to live for everyone. I can talk more, but I don't think I should. But I can definitely answer the questions you guys have. Yes, of course, I'll share some tricks and techniques, so that some ideas basically, so that you can guide your I should say friends or acquaintances who are facing such challenges. But you need to start talking about such things. Secondly, you guys, we all actually, not you, we all need to talk about such things first. Then we need to promote the use of menstrual products like menstruation products, sanitary napkins, menstrual cups, tampons. We need to promote these products on wide scale, right? Next, we need to remove the stigma around it. If an intellectually disabled person comes to you and starts saying, "Oh, I'm having my period, I'm bleeding right now," so we should not be the ones who are laughing on that. We should be the ones who are understanding it, right? Thank you so much. I'll definitely answer the questions if there are any. But this is what I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, let us share how proud we are to be a part of Red Tribe. So now, I request our RT team to share a video of Red Tribe.
Host, can I get the permission to share my screen?
Thank you, team. It was a really astounding video. Love your whole story, even if it hasn't been the perfect fairy tale. So to introduce today's guest speaker, Mr. Prakar Gupta, I would like to invite Mr. Ritik. Welcome, Ritik.
Thank you, Ms. Harsha. I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce the guest speaker for the day, Mr. Prakar Gupta. Mr. Prakar Gupta is high-performing strategic thinking professional with 2 years of experience in implementing development and humanitarian programs globally, with core experiences in program implementation and analysis. He is experienced in working with governments, NGOs in multicultural and cross-functional teams. He worked in different capacities within program management, technical assistance like health, monitoring and evaluation, capacity building, HMIS or online data management tool in health, MCH, nutrition and a lot more.
Thank you, Mr. Ritik. His speech is mirror of soul. As a man speaks, so is his personality. I would take my best pleasure on our guest
ये वीडियो स्टॉप हो गया आवाज सुने
to share her words dedicated to the event. Welcome, Mr. Prakar Gupta.
Mr. Prakar, you're on mute. So,
Am I audible to everyone right now?
yes, you are.
Okay, thank you so much. So, thank you for providing such type of platform where I can just share my thoughts, and it's really a great opportunity where we can just put our thoughts and just talk about something which is really a stigma in our society and in our community. So, thank you, Bharat Scout and Guides, and it's really appreciating that you guys are taking a very good effort to just clear the stigma in our society. And if I talk about, I'm sure that you guys are very well aware of these things, but when we talk about the menstruation, we just used to heard that if you are having on periods, then you are not supposed to enter the temples, or you are not supposed to conduct the rituals. So the thing is, this is the actual myth, I think. And while I was working in the Care India, I have heard, and I have also went to the hard to reach areas, remote areas where we used to look. The people are still not aware of the menstruation things, and the children are really have no knowledge about these things, and the family never talk about such type of stigma. So that's the problem in our community, where they see there is something which really need to be worked on. And while this might seem amusing myth and misconception and misinformation about the periods feed into stigma, which can
Stop it.
sorry. Okay. Miscommunication and misinformation about the periods feeding into stigma, which can be usually damaging our community, and in part stigma exaggerate the certain cultural beliefs about menstruations, rather than simply being acknowledged as a natural biological function, which is considered rude or embarrassing to discuss period in community, especially in rural areas of the India. And due to the conversation around menstruation being suppressed belief about people in their periods, belief about the people on their unclean and widespread, and these often leads to women and girls feeling confined to their houses, being excluded from public spaces, and considered to be a bad luck or a harmful to other about week and every month. So the devastating period stigma along with poverty has a huge impact on girl education. Not receiving a full education and being forced into an early marriage and also inevitable usually lead to a reduced capacity to access employment and income generation, terrible consequences which only serve to hold back women life chances. So there are few things which we really need to focus on, and we really need to clear the stigma, and we need to develop few IECs, I think, in the rural areas, because in India, I think the 70% of the population is living in the rural areas, right? And still the people in the rural area are using some of the real concern point of hygiene, like they are still using the ashes because while I was working with the Renew Oceans, I have found there is a rag picker community which was working in the working for the rag pickers, and we just found that there was a girl. She was using the piece of cloth with the fill of the ashes, and she was just cleaning herself. And that was really devastating for me. That I just when I saw it, and I really thought there is something which is really wrong. They don't have that much money to just support the pads, and there is no one to help them. So this was something which was really concerned me. And a core challenge in tackling period stigma is menstruational health education, I think, and this is lacking in the community, especially with boys, also with girls, also because we have surveyed a lot of small population communities where we have found just the there are if we have surveyed the 100 girls, then we have found that 80 of the girls are not that much aware of the menstruation cycle, or they don't know that what type of hygiene they should have maintained. So this is the which we have to work on, and where it does exist, it often begin later in young period life. Sometimes even after girls have begun the first period. The result of not educating girls about menstruation before it starts means that their initial reaction is likely to involve fear, shame, or embarrassment, as we say. And additionally, poor education mean a lack of knowledge around what menstruation hygiene products are out there, and the consequences of not doing so can be deeply harmful or trouble misconception, particularly among men also. Is that the onset of period signal that start up sexual maturity and early marriages, that in the context of men, we thought in the rural areas, as we have heard, if a girl is having the menstruation, then she is eligible to get married, or she is ready to have a sexual relationship. So that's completely a stigma. That's completely something which is not right in our community. And so the last I would like to say, so sorry, I've just taken a lot of time. So lastly, I would like to say that so the next time a period myth brings a smile to your face, take a moment to consider the harmful social cultural belief that go along with it. So that's from my side, and I'm happy to answer the questions if there are any. And thank you so much, Bharat Scout and Guides. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful speech. So, unity is a strength when there is teamwork and collaboration. Wonderful things can be achieved. I would like to share a glimpse of our Master Trainers training, which was conducted on 22 to 23rd April 2022. IDT, 3 years.
1, 2, 3, 4.
you, team. It was really adorable. As we all know, there were activities conducted from 23rd to 26th May 2022. We're very happy as there were very delightful responses and active participation. So now, I would like to take my immense pleasure to call upon Mr. Ritik Sharma. What was an activity pack?
थैंक यू वेरी मच मिस हर्षा। जैसा कि हर्षा ने बताया 23 मई से 26 मई तक हम लोगों ने कुछ एक्टिविटी करी। वो एक्टिविटी क्या थी पर हमने तो कर ली, अब हमें फिर बताना पड़ेगा। कोई नहीं, दोबारा बता देते हैं। फर्स्ट एक्टिविटी जो हमने करी वो थी आई एम अ पार्ट ऑफ रेड प्राइड BSG। हमने फोटो क्लिक किया और उसको शेयर किया। ओहो, आप लोग रह गए क्या? कोई नहीं, पैडलेट का लिंक अभी आपको मिल जाएगा चैट बॉक्स में, फटाफट उधर एक्टिविटी कर लेना क्योंकि बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है। बिकॉज वी ऑल आर द पार्ट ऑफ रेड प्राइड BSG। एक्टिविटी नंबर 2 हमने क्या करा? वी रेज्ड अवेयरनेस अगेंस्ट द स्टिग्मा। पर कैसे किया ये तो हमें पता ही नहीं लगा। अरे हमने किया था इसको अपने कोड डालकर सोशल मीडिया पे, और सोशल मीडिया पे के साथ साथ हमने पैडलेट पे भी डाला उस कोड को। कोड दिखाएं? चलो कोड दिखाते हैं आपको। ये देखो, सबसे पहला कोड, मेंस्ट्रुएशन अवेयरनेस कैन हेल्प इरेज द स्टिग्मा अराउंड पीरियड्स दैट डजंट अप्लाई टू गर्ल्स हु विल एक्सपीरियंस मेंस्ट्रुएशन फर्स्ट हैंड। एंड इसी तरह बहुत सारे कोड्स हैं। देखो जरा, IT टीम स्क्रॉल कर रही है नीचे। ओहो, ये खत्म ही नहीं हो रहे, इतना लोगों ने एक्टिविटी जो किया है। अब हमें भी करना है तो फटाफट से पैडलेट पे जाके ये एक्टिविटी 2 जरूर करनी है एंड विल एंजॉय इट। एक्टिविटी 3 was the MHD bracelet. Here I have some. Can you see it? Yes, this is the MHD bracelet. ये देखो हमारे स्क्रीन पर आपको दिख ही रहा होगा। ये MHD ब्रेसलेट बड़ी कमाल की चीज है, मतलब ऐसी जबरदस्त चीज है ना। अभी उसके बारे में और डिटेल में बात करेंगे बाद में, बट यू कैन सी कि हमने किस तरह से MHD ब्रेसलेट को बनाया। किसी ने पेपर यूज करके तो किसी ने प्लास्टिक की बीड्स यूज करके। ओ ये देखो कितने सुंदर तरह से MHD ब्रेसलेट को बनाया हुआ है। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। So the last and the important activity was the suggestions. बिना सजेशन कैसे कोई एक्टिविटी पूरी होगी? आगे अपने आप को बेटर भी तो करना है। तो ये थे हमारे पास कुछ सजेशंस। जैसे सजेशन नंबर 1 was the break the taboos and end the stigma surrounding menstruation. Raise awareness about the challenges regarding access to menstrual products, education about menstruation, and period friendly sanitation. And there were lots of suggestions over there. आप रह तो नहीं गए? अरे आपका सजेशंस नहीं पहुंचा हम तक? कोई नहीं, अभी पैडलेट है, खुला हुआ है, फटाफट से अपना सजेशन जरूर डाल देना। That was all the activities on the Red Pride Week 2022.
Thank you, Ritik ji, for such a wonderful explanation. Discussion is an exchange of knowledge, an argument, an exchange of ignorance. Now, I like to hand over the virtual stage to Mr. Ritik Sharma. Welcome, Mr. Ritik.
Thank you, Mr. Harsha. Yes, as you mentioned, discussion is an exchange of knowledge. So let's exchange our knowledge. So hello, everyone. Wish you all a happy menstrual hygiene day. So we are here for the panel discussion, and our panel members are Dr. Deepa Pavaskar. She is MBBS, MCPS, CGO, DHA. Worked as medical officer in Bombay Municipal Corporation for 31 years. She is retired as Chief Medical Officer from Rajwadi Hospital, Mumbai. Trustee of Adarsh Charitable Trust, which is working for underprivileged women and children. Working with also Satya Sai Seva Trust and Shri Mukti Sangathan, Mumbai. Our second panelist is Mr. Prakhar Gupta, State Lead at Divya Jyoti Development Center. Third one is Miss Ankita Sehdev, an educator, founder of Exceptionals, and a member of UNICEF YPAT at Yuva, India. And the last but not the least panelist is Miss Himanshi Tomar, Country Project Manager at Her World, Voice project. Welcome to all the panelists. Starting the discussion with an interesting question. The first question I would like to raise is, how happy are you talking about the menstruation? And kahan se shuru kare? I guess, okay, let's start it with Miss Himanshi Tomar.
Thank you, Ritik. And I guess all of you can see on my face already that how happy I am when we're talking about menstruation. Because what can be best on Menstrual Hygiene Day than getting an opportunity to speak about this topic at national platform. And I am sure as I am happy, all other participants who have joined today with us are happy too. And I think why shouldn't we? Because we are gonna talk about, we are talking about a process, a biological process which creates another life and which brings another life into existence. So yes, I'm very much happy, Ritik. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Himanshi. Very well said. Now, moving on with the same question, let's ask Ankita about it. Ankita, how happy are you talking about the menstruation?
Yes, same as Himanshi. I'm very much comfortable and happy to talk about menstrual cycles or menstruation or periods. Why? Because it's nothing to be hidden. Right? When you hide something, when you're facing a problem because of your period, you're facing cramps, you're having a stomachache, and you're hiding it constantly from others, you definitely feel that there will be a point when you start thinking that why am I doing this? If you start talking about such things, you automatically feel liberated. I really wish everybody can become happy in talking about periods, but yes, I am already.
That's amazing. Now, let's move on with the same question and let's see what are the point of views of Mr. Prakhar Gupta.
Thank you, Ritik. It's really a good thing that we are talking about the menstruation, and it's I think we really need to talk about these stigmas regularly so that we can just clear the conceptuals between the community. And if we are talking about the menstruation, then I think it's really a great platform to discuss about it. And yeah, I think being a guy, being a boy, it's a thing which we don't want to talk about. We don't want to discuss. We used to make demeanors when we hear about the menstruation. So I think I'm very much happy. Thank you.
I'm happy too, Mr. Prakhar Gupta, to see you here. Now, I would like to ask a doctor, ma'am. Ma'am, what do you think? How happy are you talking about the menstruation?
The question which is concerned with all the ladies, girls, everywhere. And which why only women and girls? It's related to all of us, everyone. So it's nice talking about it, and being a doctor, telling them do's and don'ts, and how important it is, and make them familiar with the clear-cut medical knowledge. That's the idea behind it. Protect them, teach them, guide them. So I'm happy.
That sounds amazing. Thank you very much, ma'am. So let's move towards the second question. Actually, I was thinking about this question, like, what is this menstruation? ये menstruation है क्या? तो हिमांशी, आप मुझे बता पाओगे actually what is menstruation?
Sure, Ritik. So I think according to me, menstruation or periods और हिंदी में कहें तो माहवारी या फिर कुछ लोग इसे टाइम कह के भी बुलाते हैं हर महीने. So ये एक बायोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस है जो हर मेंस्ट्रुएटर्स के साथ, स्पेशली फीमेल्स के साथ होता है. That is a sign of a good health, and that is also a sign that the body is ready to get pregnant. And this process happens every month. Some people could have 28 days of gap, 27, 29. And usually some people experience heavy flow through their vagina, and some of them have normal and kind of smooth periods for 3 to 4 days. And also I think to add a little more to it, menstruation is also the tissues, partial tissues and partial blood which comes out of our body because we did not conceive. So yes, I think that's what I would suggest that menstruation is.
Thank you, Imanchi. Just got to know about some tissues like thing. Now I would like to ask Ankita. Ankita, do you want to tell us about something regarding menstruation?
Well said by Himanshi. It's a biological process. When the egg is not fertilized by a sperm, the lining which is there to feed the fetus or a zygote in initial stages gets, shaded off in the form of mucus and blood. So that is what fetus are. When the lining starts getting detached from the walls, so that is what menstruation or periods are.
That sounds good enough. Thank you very much, Ms. Ankita Sehdev. Now I would like to ask Mr. Prakhar. Prakhar, what does menstruation means to you?
The first thing I heard someone writing in the chat that is in Hindi, so I would like to explain in Hindi. Actually, there is a biological process which goes on और जिसमें एक ओवम को सीड की जरूरत होती है और जब उस ओवम को सीड नहीं मिलता है तो ओवम जो होता है एक प्लानिंग कर रहा होता है आगे आने वाले कई दिनों से. तो उस प्लानिंग में वो कुछ ब्लड की लेयर्स जो है वो हमारे यूट्रस में बैठाता है जिसमें ताकि बेबी यदि आएगा तो वो एक कंफर्टेबल वे में वहां पर सेट हो सकता है. तो इन दैट केस जब वो सीड नहीं मिलता है तो वो जो ब्लड होता है वो एक क्योंकि कंसीव नहीं हुआ होता है, एग जो फर्टिलाइज होना चाहिए वो नहीं होता है, उस वजह से जो मंथ के एंड में जब सीड अवेलेबल होता है तो वो ब्लड डिस्चार्ज हो जाता है. So that's the biological process, and that's what I meant from the menstruation, and that's what I have got to know about it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Prakhar. ये बीच वाला ऑप्शन बहुत मुझे अच्छा लगा, समझ में आया एकदम से. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to ask again, Dr. Deepa ma'am. Ma'am, menstruation actually है क्या?
Menstruation is a physiological process, and it's a sign of puberty, and it starts somewhere around 14, 15 in girl's child. Sometimes it comes earlier, 11th year or somewhere. So some children, it varies with individual health-wise, fat, obese, there it starts a bit earlier, then weak, thin, lean, they start late. Sometimes we hear okay, up to 18th also, the girl didn't have any period, so all entire family is worried. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? So it starts with the earliest can be normal, earliest can be 14 to 15. Sometimes 12 to 14 you can say. By that time it usually starts. And it is preparing uterus for the childbirth. And the menstruation has two phases. One is proliferative, and another one is secretory. So in proliferative, the uterus gets ready, and in secretory, the flow of blood starts. So that is the indication that ovum has come out of the ovary and ready for fertilization. That's a it's indication that the child, everything is okay with the girl, or as far as the reproduction is concerned. And there are many different things, you know. The cycle, it's a called menstrual cycle. It varies with individuals. Sometimes it has 21 to 35 days. The cycle varies from 21, 25, 27, 29, 35. Latest is 35. And it is a painful process because that ovary layer breaks, it pains, then the womb has to come to the uterus, fallopian tube. Then all these are all medical terms, so I will not confuse you. But it's a painful process. If it pains, we doctors are happy. A ovum is coming to the uterus and all. It means it's a sign of a normal thing. And what more do you want me to tell? It's a regular. Sometimes it becomes irregular, then giving problem to everyone. And there are few things to be observed. You know, it's the restrictions come to the activities, and the premenstrually the tension increases. So it is called premenstrual tension. There sometimes the person becomes irritated without any reason. Even if you have not walked, you get leg cramps and headache. And some people, they feel like sleeping all the time. So everybody says, why are you sleeping? But then the date is coming near. So if you are educated, if you know, and you have to have a really good record or good track of your menstrual cycle, then mark on the calendar which day it comes. Usually it comes for 4 to 8. The period is 4 to 7 days. Flow can be profuse, normal, or scanty. The blood flow can be any one of these. And accordingly, if the profuse flow is non-painful, that means there is no ovulation. It's just a preparation, and because the person didn't conceive, it has gone this. So the blood has to go out, and everything is to be started again right from day 1. So day 1 to day 21 is the preparation, and 21 to 27 is the blood flow mix. Oh, okay. I hope I have made little simple for you.
Yes, ma'am. It was really simple and informative. Thank you. Now I would like to ask Miss Ankita. Ankita, can you please explain us how is it difficult to manage menstruation for the disabled person?
Yes, definitely. It is difficult to manage menstruation for any girl, but when you have one of your body parts or sense organs restricted, it becomes even more difficult. Why? Because when you have a child, or you should say an adolescent girl in front of you, having a disability, telling her about periods and telling her how to manage her periods is a step-by-step process. First of all, I would like to talk about intellectual disability, because that is the community which faces maximum number of difficulties. Because if you talk about visual impairment, orthopedically challenged people, their cognition is nowhere being affected. You can use other senses, other body parts, or even tampons or cups instead of napkins to manage the problems they are facing. But why I would like to talk about intellectually disabled people specifically, because with them cognition is the most affected part, right? So when their cognition is not up to the level where it should be, when the IQ is extremely low, adaptive behavior is affected adversely, then you need to move step by step. First of all, you need to tell them this is how you are going to bleed every month. Then you need to answer each and every question they ask you. And sometimes they'll keep asking you, sometimes they'll keep asking one question on repeat, right? They'll keep asking you why again and again and again. So you need to be very patient with them, and you need to tell them why is it happening, no matter how many times they ask you the same question, right? Then you need to tell them, okay, this is the thing, this is happening, this is why it is happening. Now, what do you need to do? If you start bleeding suddenly and you don't have somebody around, first of all, you need to get that packet out of your cupboard or out of your drawer, or you need to ask someone by someone, you again need to tell them who is that someone, because privacy is a huge issue involved in this. They sometimes don't know who is the person they can trust, who is the person they cannot trust. So privacy is also involved in this part. Sometimes many girls are exploited, especially those who are intellectually disabled. They try to seek for help. They are exploited, and then they cannot even speak out for them. That's the worst case scenario. Because of this, many experts and scholars, even gynecologists, have suggested, special educators have suggested that you should remove their uterus. But that's not an appropriate solution for all of this. Why? Because issue of human rights come in play. Even if you remove their uterus, or even if you don't remove their uterus, in both cases, issue of human rights is going to be there. So we need to modify their adaptive behaviors very patiently. We need to devote our time. We need to make efforts towards this cause, so that is what I wanted. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, definitely. You answered it in a very well manner. And ये जानकर पहली बार ऐसा information मिला, and it was really amazing. Thank you very much, अंकिता.
My pleasure.
अब मैं अगला क्वेश्चन मिस्टर प्रखर से पूछना चाहूँगा. मिस्टर प्रखर, what was your first experience as a health worker? Like आपने क्या-क्या difficulties face करी जब आप menstruation में awareness कर रहे थे?
The difficulty was there are community which are really rigid, and they are rigid to the concept. They really don't want to understand what it is and why it is happening, especially in the rural areas. Because when I was in the Bihar, and I was working in the Vaishali district of the Bihar, and I just need to be at the hard to reach areas of the Bihar. और वहाँ पे जब हम कम्युनिटी से बात करने के लिए जाते थे, और क्योंकि हमें प्रमोट करना होता था कि देयर इज समथिंग व्हिच इज रियली गोइंग ऑन एंड यू हैव टू बी अवेयर ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, कि एक जो महामारी होती है वो क्या होता है, उसको हम किस तरीके से मैनेज करें ताकि जो आपके साथ में रहने वाला व्यक्ति है वो आपके साथ एक अच्छे तौर तरीके से रह पाए और एक अच्छी लाइफ और एक हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल जी पाए. और जब आप कम्युनिटी को अवेयर करने के लिए जाते हो या फिर कोई एक ऐसी चीज बताने के लिए जाते हो जो कि शायद लोग सुनना पसंद नहीं करते, तो वो शायद आपके ऊपर ब्लेम भी करते हैं कि आपको यहाँ पर इस तरह की बातें नहीं करनी चाहिए, और यदि आप इस तरह की बातें कर रहे हैं तो आप यहाँ पर मत करिए, या फिर यहाँ पर इस तरह की अवेयरनेस कैंपेन मत चलाइए, और यहाँ पे कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. और ताकि और ऐसा भी हुआ है कई बार कि जब while I was in the field, I have seen the migrating people, वो क्या करते थे कि एक कपड़ा लेते थे, एंड दे यूज्ड टू पुट दी सम चूल्हे की जो राख होती है ना, उस राख को उस कपड़े में रखते थे और उस कपड़े से फिर वो उसको एज अ पैड यूज करते थे. तो व्हेन I just saw those things, I was literally shocked कि यार there are still few things, this type of things which are people practicing. तो फिर हमने कैंपेन, क्योंकि मैं एज अ ब्लॉक मैनेजर था maternal and child health में, so I took the initiative and just talked to the MOIC, the medical officer in charge, just to put some awareness campaign and the IC materials in the rural areas, and especially in the schools, especially in the Anganwadis, because that's the place where a woman used to come for the vaccination or for the ANC checkups and all. तो हम वहाँ पे हमारा engagement काफी था, और कम्युनिटी को अवेयर करना आज भी बहुत टफ है, स्पेशली टू द रिजिड कम्युनिटीज जो कि बिल्कुल भी इन सब चीज़ों से ना ही वो बात करना चाहते हैं, ना ही वो इस चीज़ को लेकर के कोई डिस्कशन करना चाहते हैं. एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई जस्ट टोल्ड इन दिस व्हाइल वी वर स्टार्टिंग कि यार इट्स अ रियली अ गुड प्लेटफॉर्म वेयर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस, बिकॉज इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड आई डोंट थिंक कि यहाँ पर लोग जो हैं वो इस तरीके की बातें कर रहे हैं, या फिर वो इस तरह की अवेयरनेस को एक क्योंकि urban areas में there are people who are educated, right? There are people who are literate. But in the rural areas, it's really tough task to just aware people, to tell them कि आपका जो partner है, she really needs something, and you have to do something just to take care of her hygiene, right? So that's it's really hard to convince the community. What I realize, yeah.
It's really hard and great work, Mr. Prakhar. Moving on with my further question to Dr. Deepa Pavaskar ma'am. Ma'am, आपका पहला menstruation अनुभव कैसा था?
मेरा एक दिन ऐसे ही टॉयलेट गई तो अचानक से ब्लड का स्टॉप ये ड्रॉप गिरा। बोले ये कहाँ से आ गया? कुछ लगा नहीं, कुछ नहीं, डर गई। अभी टॉयलेट से बाहर तो आना है ना। मेरी एक बड़ी बहन थी, तो वो मेरी बड़ी बहन से मैं सब कुछ बताती थी, क्या हो गया मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था। छोटे थे तो इतना ही मालूम था, कभी कुछ लग जाता है, कुछ हो जाता है, कोई खून निकलता है, ऐसे अचानक से कोई खून नहीं निकलता है। लेकिन स्कूल में वो रिप्रोडक्टिव हमारे सीनियर्स में, समझो मैं 5वीं में तो 8वीं 9वीं की लड़कियाँ, मेरी बड़ी बहन को मैंने देखा था, कहीं वो साइड में बैठती थी, कुछ काम नहीं करती थी, आराम से उसको VIP ट्रीटमेंट मिलता था। तो हमें भी ऐसा चाहिए। पता नहीं कैसे मिलता है, क्या था, कोई बोलता है कौवा छुप के गया, कुछ हो गया, ऐसा पता नहीं। तो वो ब्लड ड्रॉप देख के मैं तो डर गई। फिर बाहर आके दीदी को बोला, दीदी ये ऐसा हो गया। तो कुछ तो मुझे लगाने कुछ भी नहीं, और वो बंद ही नहीं हो रहा है, आते जाते क्या करूं? Because it comes, 5, 6, 7, 8 drops at a time. So you get really scared. And then I said, how now? When it will stop? My sister said, it will not stop. Okay, this bleeding and it will not stop. I said, how? But then what to do? What I'll do? Nothing. You will have to take the pad now. I said, what pad? Nothing. Everything was new for me. And then she went to and told mother. The mother said, Arey, now you will have to be very careful. Now you have grown up. You are grown up now. So you have to be very careful. And take care of yourself. Don't go here, there, and this pad and all. Then they explained my address. I said, don't worry. And I was crying, without non-stop crying. No, your crying is not going. My address sister, she said, your crying is not going to stop this. Listen to me. And then she brought one napkin, she folded it, she gave me, she said, wear it under cabinet and keep it there. I said, but then how to work with this? You will have to accept. This is the part and parcel of a girl life. It comes to everyone. Even Mama had. But then she said, even I had. I said, but then no one, how you will know? It was mine. How will you know? Now it's yours, so you know. So it comes to everyone when it comes to that particular person. बोलने से कुछ नहीं होता, जब खुद एक्सपीरियंस करो तभी समझता है कि ये क्या है क्या नहीं। और फिर बाद में कोई समझाता है, नहीं सबको होता है, होते रहेगा, कुछ नहीं, डरो मत, दुखता है क्या पेट में। तो फर्स्ट पीरियड इट डजंट पेन बिकॉज 11 years 12 years the ovary is not forming over, so it doesn't pain. Initially it doesn't pain, only that flow of blood, sometimes it is so perfect that drip, and it's really what to say, really scary, and you don't know what to do. And then everyone said, now you will be weak, now you will have cramps, now you will have pain in abdomen, this, that, so many things. I was confused. I said, I listen to my elder sister, what she says, and I listen to my mama, what she says, it's enough. And that's all. And then I was told, sit, relax, not to work. Just, in short, I can say it was VIP. And everybody consoling. Not to worry, it happens with everyone. And I look around, so many girls, so many ladies, so many people are there, and everyone is facing sin. So I said, okay, then I'll be also comfortable. That's how it happened. Okay. So this was my first experience because of my elder sister and my mom. These two were my guides, in this. And I asked my mama, all this I don't know. Can we stop it permanently? She said, yes, you can, but then you will not have child. You cannot get married, you cannot have child, so many things. Everyone has to. और फिर बॉडी में हीट बढ़ जाएगी, कुछ हो जाएगा, पता नहीं क्या क्या होता है ये बंद करने से। तो अच्छा है कि हफ्ते में जब महीने में जब आएगा तो फिर पैड लेने का। So that was my first experience. But really, even today, when you say first experience, everything that picture like came in front of my eyes.
Amazing first experience, ma'am. Especially that VIP movement part.
हाँ हाँ, वो VIP बोला ना, पहले जमाने में बता, बट मैंने रिट्रोग्रेड सोचना चालू किया ना, तो मुझे समझा कि हाँ रे, अपने एंसेस्टर्स, अपने पूर्वज कितने होशियार थे, कितना रिस्पेक्ट करते थे लेडीज का। लेडीज को देवी भी बोलते हैं ना, तो देवी की तरह वर्शिप करते थे। और ये दिनों में तो एकदम स्पेशल। उनको नहीं आपने कुछ काम नहीं करना है, आप वहीं पे बैठो, आराम करो, आपको जो चाहिए बोल दो, खाली आवाज दो, मुझे पानी दो, मिल जाएगा, भूख लगी है मिल जाएगा, चाय चाहिए मिल जाएगा, सब कुछ जगह पे। तो देख के हमको लगा था कितना अच्छा कर रहे हैं, लेकिन दैट वाज नॉट फॉर रेस्ट। दे शुड टेक केयर, एक्स्ट्रा केयर इन दोस 4, 5, 7, 6, 7 days. Nowadays, because of this hustle life and all, you don't get time to take rest, and you can't avoid 3-4 days of your life. 4 दिन काम पे नहीं जाओगे तो सैलरी कट होएगी, वो सारा टेंशन। तो इससे चलो जाते हैं आते हैं। So we don't care about ourselves. During those periods, I advise everyone, even my patients, I tell them, जिंदगी भर काम करना है, काम छूटने वाला नहीं है। तो ये 4 दिन है ना, रेस्ट ले लो, make use in some other way. तो ऐसे।
Definitely, ma'am. हिमांशी, आपका क्या ख्याल है इस पर? VIP movement and your first experience. You are muted.
Sorry. Well, I was so happy to listen to that VIP treatment, but yeah, of course, I would also like to add on to ma'am's experience, that how was mine. Although luckily, as I've heard from other girls and young women, because I closely work with them, it wasn't kind of unfortunate or a shock or a surprise for me, because my mother made sure that I was freehand given all the informations, all the care which I required at that time. So it was my exams time in school, and I was in 7th standard, and I had heavy, like very high fever. And it went on for 7 days, and even mama was in dilemma, like what is happening to her. But on the 7th day, I got my first period, and I came back and I told mama that I need a pad. She gave it to me, and after that she was so happy that my body is functioning fine, it is functioning healthy. So she made a sweet for me, a sweet halwa. And though for me, even in my first period itself, because I was so sporty, it was a heavy flow, but it was a sense of relief, and seeing that happiness on my mama's face made me feel happy as well. So yes, the first experience went happy, and with all support from mother.
It was again the best experience, I guess. The sweet halwa attracted me a lot.
It was yummy as well.
So moving on with Ankita Sahdev, I would like to ask you, Ankita, आपका experience कैसा था?
Okay, so इतना sweet तो नहीं था जितना हिमांशी का था, for sure. I knew about periods a little bit, but इतना ज़्यादा नहीं पता था. So when I started bleeding for the first time, मुझे देख के पता नहीं चला था. तो मेरी मम्मा ने नोटिस किया था कि there's some spot or something. तो उन्होंने फिर मुझे गाइड किया कि इस तरह से this is a napkin, this is how you're supposed to use it, किस तरह से उसको यूज करना है, इसके wings होते हैं, मतलब पूरा उन्होंने मुझे टच करवा के, when you are dealing with a girl with visual impairment ना, आपको उसको टच करवा के हर चीज, किसी भी चीज में, not only menstruation, किसी भी चीज में अगर आप कुछ सिखा रहे हो, कुछ बता रहे हो, बहुत जरूरी है कि आप उन्हें सुनाओ या फिर टच करवाओ. क्योंकि वही सेंसेस है जो प्रोमिनेंट है, राइट? तो टच बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग होता है, बाकी सेंसेस बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग होते हैं बिकॉज वो ट्रेन हुए होते हैं उससे। तो मुझे प्रॉपर टच करवा के फील करवाया गया था कि कैसे वो उसकी बैक साइड स्टिकी है और दूसरी साइड सॉफ्ट है, इस तरह से इसके विंग्स हैं, यू आर सपोज्ड टू पुट इट ऑन। तो वो सारी चीजें मुझे टच करवा के फील करवाई गई थी। और हाँ, मुझे एक दो बार शायद हेल्प लेने की जरूरत पड़ी होगी, बट उसके बाद आई बिकेम इंडिपेंडेंट इनफ टू हैंडल माय ओन स्टफ। तो या दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस एंड इट इज अ बिट डिफरेंट क्योंकि वहाँ पे वो सेंसरी ट्रेनिंग भी इन्वॉल्व हो जाती है, क्योंकि यू आर डीलिंग विद अ गर्ल हु कैन नॉट सी। दैट इज हाउ आई dealt with my first experience.
Again, the new thing to learn from Miss Ankita. Thank you very much, Ankita. अब मैं मिस्टर प्रखर से पूछना चाहूंगा। मिस्टर प्रखर, एक बात बताइए यार, मुझे थोड़ा सा ये समझना था कि ये जो हम लोग हैं, लाइक द मेंस, why we generally hesitate to talk about this menstruation?
So
you're-
now I'm so the thing is, yeah, from the childhood we never used to tell whatever the things going around us. तो हमें कभी बताते थोड़ी हैं ये सारी चीजें कि ऐसा है, ये चीजें एग्जिस्ट करती हैं। we need to find it, we need to explore it, right? तो हमारे फैमिली मेंबर्स भी थोड़े से कंजर्वेटिव होते हैं कई बार, और वो ये चीजें बताने से डरते हैं या फिर ये चीजें शेयर नहीं करना चाहते। वो नहीं बताते हैं कि हम एक, especially if I talk about my mom or my sister, they never used to tell me it's something just like this, talk about it's a stigma, right? तो वो नहीं ये चीजें शेयर करते हैं, बट द थिंग इज कि हम बात क्यों नहीं करना चाहते, और इफ वी गेट इन्फॉर्म कि हाँ ये एक बायोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस है, इट हैज टू बी हैपन इन एवरी मंथ, तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम इस चीज को समझें कि इसके पीछे का बायोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस क्या है, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है। और कोई ये ऐसा तो है नहीं कि बिकॉज बहुत बार ऐसा होता था कि वी यूज्ड टू गो टू द टेंपल एंड माय सिस्टर वाज लाइक कि नहीं मैं नहीं जा सकती। तो इट वाज रियली कि यार अभी हम 4 दिन से लगातार जा रहे हैं मंदिर बगल पे, and now you are just suddenly refused me to just not to go to the temple. So it was really shocking for me, and I think I was in 6th or 7th standard at that time, and I was not aware of these things. And the first I heard about the menstruation was, I think, while I was studying the chapter, that reproductive chapter in the 10th or 9th class, I think. तब मुझे ये चीज रियलाइज हुई कि यार देयर इज समथिंग व्हिच दे रियली वांटेड टू हाइड फ्रॉम अस। और देन आई जस्ट ट्राइड टू विसल इट कि यार ठीक है दीदी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, यदि ऐसी चीजें होती हैं यू कैन आस्क टू मी, आई विल ब्रिंग व्हाटएवर यू वांट, जस्ट लाइक दी, क्योंकि बोलते हैं कि वो पैड्स जो हैं वो भाई से नहीं मंगवाने चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ। तो देन एक विसल ब्लोअर की तरह मैंने घर पे इस तरह से थोड़ा सा इनिशिएट किया कि it's a natural phenomena, there is nothing to hide about, right? So we need to take care of each and everyone. I know that ये चीजें बाहर कम्युनिटी में लोगों को अजीब लगती हैं, क्यों लगती हैं I don't know, and that's why I took the initiative to just to aware and to make few more IECs and more vast awareness programs to just aware all the people कि it's not to hide about anything. तो यदि हम कोशिश करें कि बचपन से ही बच्चे को एक ये सारी चीजें इंफॉर्मेशन दें एट द राइट एज, because when the puberty comes everyone knows about what the puberty is, right? So at that time also you should concentrate on these things also कि यार ये एक नेचुरल फैमिना है, somewhere at some time आपको इन सारी चीजों के बारे में ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, और you will be with someone जिसको आपकी केयर करनी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है that time also। तो यदि हम एक अपब्रिंगिंग के समय पे जब हम प्यूबर्टी की बात करते हैं और उसी समय पर हम ये सारी चीजें भी डिस्कस करते हैं और ये सारी चीजें भी फीड करते हैं, बताते हैं, तो मेरे ख्याल से ये जो हम आज बात कर रहे हैं कि व्हाई मेन हेजिटेट्स, आई थिंक आगे आने वाले कुछ 5 साल 10 सालों में हम ये भी क्वेश्चन ना रेज करें तो बेटर है क्या?
यस, एक्चुअली सबको इन्फॉर्मेशन होनी बहुत जरूरी है। बिल्कुल ठीक कहा प्रकाश सर आपने। इसी से रिलेटेड मैं अंकिता से पूछना चाहूंगा. अंकिता, what do you feel about the awareness programs about the menstruation? You're muted.
और हम ये सॉरी आई वाज सेइंग कि हम अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स में ना हमेशा एक चीज करते हैं कि हम ब्रेक द टैबूज इज अ वेरी गुड थिंग, राइट? कि टैबू को ब्रेक करना है, पीरियड्स शुड नॉट कोई ऐसे गलत या डिस्गस्टिंग चीज नहीं है, पर हम डोंट्स पे ज्यादा फोकस करते हैं और डूज पे कम. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हमें डोंट्स के साथ साथ डूज पे भी फोकस करना चाहिए. अगर हम इन चीजों की बात कर रहे हैं कि हमें पीरियड के टाइम पे लड़कियों को सेग्रीगेट नहीं करना, हमें उन्हें किचन से बाहर नहीं रखना, हमें उन्हें टेंपल से बाहर नहीं रखना, तो हमें ये भी बात करनी चाहिए कि हमें उस टाइम पे क्या करना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर बात की जाए पीएमएस को हैंडल करने की, कि प्री मेंस्ट्रुअल अनईजीनेस जो होती है, जो हमें प्रॉब्लम्स होती है थोड़ी बहुत पीरियड्स शुरू होने से पहले, या फिर पीरियड्स के टाइम पे जो क्रैम्प्स होते हैं, उस टाइम पे हम कुछ नहीं है, शुगर केन का एक जो गन्ना होता है उसका एक बाय प्रोडक्ट है जिसके बारे में हम बचपन से एनसीईआरटी में भी पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. तो सिंपली वो एक आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन की तरह यूज होता है. उसका टेस्ट ऑलमोस्ट लाइक हनी, शहद की तरह होता है. वी कैन टेक दैट, जिससे हम पीएमएस की प्रॉब्लम या फिर क्रैम्पिंग की प्रॉब्लम को डील कर सकते हैं. या फिर तो हमें उसको चॉइस देनी चाहिए. उसकी चॉइस होनी चाहिए कि उसको काम करना है या फिर उसको रेस्ट. इट शुड नॉट बी एनफोर्स्ड कि जबरदस्ती तुम्हें काम ही करना है, कोई रेस्ट नहीं मिलेगा. और ऐसा नहीं कि जबरदस्ती तुम्हें रेस्ट करना है, तुम्हें दूर ही रहना है हर चीज से. तो मुझे ये लगता है कि अवेयरनेस कैंपेन्स में हमें इस चॉइस की और कुछ इस तरह की रेमेडीज या इस तरह के कुछ जो टेक्निक्स हम यूज कर सकते हैं उनकी बात ही करनी चाहिए अलोंग विद डोज.
थैंक यू वेरी मच अंकिता. और आपकी बात को बिल्कुल अच्छे से ध्यान में रखते हुए हमारे संतोष कुमार जी ने क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया कि ये होम रेमेडीज क्या क्या हो सकती हैं जो कि रिड्यूस करें पेन को. सो आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट द पैनलिस्ट, यू कैन आंसर.
Okay, so should I go first?
Please.
Yeah. So first of all, take healthy diet. According to me, I'm not an expert home remedies, but yes, I can share from my own personal experience. या फिर जो मेरे आसपास जो women हैं उनके experiences से I can definitely say कि हमें थोड़े healthy diet खानी चाहिए, nutritious diet खानी चाहिए. We should include fruits, vegetables. Apart from that, थोड़ा सा saturated fat we can consume, like जो healthy fat होता है. We can consume a bit of ghee. We can use jaggery, जो गुड़ होता है उसको यूज कर सकते हैं, molasses को यूज कर सकते हैं, and थोड़े warm products यूज करने चाहिए. जैसे you can take a glass of lukewarm milk probably. So that is what might help other girls dealing with periods. Apart from that, जो हमारे आसपास women हैं उनको उस टाइम पे एक इमोशनल सपोर्ट, उससे बड़ी रेमेडी मुझे नहीं लगता कोई भी हो सकती है. तो उस टाइम पे कभी-कभी मूड स्विंग्स हो जाते हैं, वी गेट इरिटेटेड फ्रॉम बहुत छोटी-छोटी चीजों से. तो उस टाइम पे ये समझना कि ठीक है होता है, वो चीज बहुत जरूरी है. अगर आप ये कहोगे ठीक है ना पीरियड्स का क्या है, हर महीने आता है, बट यू डोंट नो वो हर महीने का पीरियड कितना टोल लेता है ना. तो उस टाइम पे हम थोड़े अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो सकते हैं टुवर्ड्स द गोल. That is what I have to share.
Yeah, thank you very much Ankita. It was really lots of knowledge. I would like to ask Himanshi, would you like to put up something?
Thanks, Ritik. Although I do think that Ankita has covered almost everything which a girl should remember, and yes, very rightly said that it should be up to that person who is menstruating at that moment, that how comfortable they are with any kind of food they want to have, any kind of activity they want to do during their menstruation. And yeah, I think Ankita has covered pretty much everything.
As already it has been covered a lot, but still हम दीपा मैम से जानना चाहेंगे क्योंकि एक्सपीरियंस तो मैम के पास ही है.
Yeah,
मैम अबाउट द रेमेडीज, होम रेमेडीज.
remedies. Okay. So रेमेडीज में पुराने लोग बोलते थे, जब मैं मेडिकल में गई उसके बाद में तो सब बदली हो गया. पहले तो रेस्ट करो, फिर पेट के बल सो जाओ. फिर मेरी भाभी एक तो वो बोलती थी मुल्तानी मिट्टी मिलती है आयुर्वेद शॉप में, तो मुल्तानी मिट्टी का लेप बनाने का और पेट के ऊपर नीचे के एरिया में लगाने का. और कोई बोलता था ठंडे पानी से नहाने का, गर्म पानी नहीं लेने का. बिकॉज दिस वाज प्रैक्टिकली व्हाट आई थॉट टू रिड्यूस द फ्लो so that the person doesn't blood ज्यादा जाएगा तो weakness आ जाती है. इसलिए फिर हेल्दी को डैडी हमेशा, my daddy was English, so he said always keep your body with adequate vitamins and minerals and all, because that you get very rarely. एक पूरा एप्पल खाओगे तब इतना सा कुछ आए, कैल्शियम आएगा. तो एक नया जमाना है, एक गोली खा लो हो जाएगा. और बाद में मेडिकल में जाने के बाद में स्पेजमिंडोन, मायोस्पेस, बैरलगार, ये सारी गोलियां हैं जो पेन कम करती है. बट अगेन इट रिड्यूसेस द मोटिलिटी ऑफ द फेलोपियन ट्यूब एंड यूट्राइन मसल्स. सो अगेन इट इज अगेंस्ट द natural physiological process. So as long as you can bear it, try and see that it is okay. You train your mind that this is normal, physiological. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can change it. It comes automatically. But now because of this medicine, spasmindone, barrel gun, and myospasm, all these three medicines can reduce your pain. And lastly, one medicine I like very much, that is chlorpromazine mainly. See, night time you have one tablet and you are comfortable. This is the what would we say key message or take home tip for all the during menstruation period. And calcium you have to take, and iron folic acid you have to take during the flow 7 days. It should be perfect.
थैंक यू वेरी मच मैम. इससे मुझे ना एक टर्म याद आ गई, दादी के नुस्खे. मूविंग ऑन, आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क डॉक्टर दीपा मैम. मैम, what are the products that can be used and how is it can be used? Period products.
Ayurvedic, I'm an allopathic doctor, so I know about allopathy. And to my patients, I give this only. And so far, with myospasm and spasmindone, they are comfortable. Otherwise, if you are talking about these irregularities, means irregular periods, period coming early, period coming twice in a month, period very painful, and period painful twice a month. Without bleeding also there is a lot of pain, unbearable pain. So all these have a different remedy for individual. Fibroid, then endometriosis. These are two things. But everyone has a different, every complaint has a different thing. But overall, rest, decrease activity, healthy food, and this one. You don't have to take stress because it's a normal physiological, no fault of yours. And the CPM I said, night time, 4 days you take CPM. So far I have not changed. These are the only things I require in my 50 years of practice. I'm practicing INEC for 50 years now.
Thank you very much, Deepa ma'am. Now I would like to put up the question for Himanshi. Himanshi, can you tell us about some period products that can be used?
Sure, Ritik. So as of now, I know of 3 products which we can use. The first one, very common to everyone, pads, because we've been using it from a long time now, and all of us are aware. So there could be different kind of product, different kind of pads, depending upon the flow, as addressed by Deepa ma'am. That it depends, and that's why we have various sizes of pads available. And the only suggestion from my end would be that if you are a menstruator who uses pad, please use a cotton pad. because there are some other materials as well which are used and that causes infection. So whenever you are using for pads, use that. The other one which you can use are called as tampons. So it is still not really common in India, but some people do use. So they are of, you can consider this size. Right, so the sizes again differs of tampons depending upon if you're a young girl up to 30 years of age or young women, if you're married, unmarried. So depending upon the gap, you can buy a tampon. You just need to insert it inside the vagina, and you can use the tampon for 3 to 4 hours depending upon the periods. And there is a thread string which you can use to pull it off again. And it is more comfortable. Consider that it is more comfortable than pad because it doesn't miss places. And the third product, which is there now, you all must also be seeing ads about it. Those are menstrual cups. So menstrual cups are made of silicone, and that can be again inserted. That can also be inserted in vagina, and that is more cost effective. And a menstrual cup usually of this size, you can use a menstrual cup for at least 2 years, washing it properly after every wash, and that a good quality one costs around only 300 to 500, and that is also good for environment. So I think a menstrual cup is a healthy option. But Ritik, I would be taking 1 more minute explaining a little bit about a misconception about menstrual cups. As we come from India, with a country of tradition, religious traditions, there is a misconception that if you use menstrual cups, you end up losing your virginity, right? So सभी लोगों को बताना चाहूंगी कि virginity lose करना is a mental concept, right? If you are too sporty, if you do a lot of stretches, if you are into sports, or if you do horse riding, even through that particular part can be opened, which is in your hymen. So it never makes you lose your virginity. It just gets opened up. That's all. Because virginity is only loses when you have an intercourse with any of the other gender. Right? तो मेरा सभी लोगों से यही request है कि please do not think in mind, and even menstrual cup you should give it a try, and if you feel comfortable, use that as well. I think Ritik, that's all from my end. I'm sorry I took a little more, but I thought it was necessary to mention about.
Thank you very much, Himanshi. Yes, it was really very necessary. Now, a last question towards the panelists. So I would like to ask Ankita. Ankita, can you give us few suggestions to manage the menstrual cycle and hygiene?
Oh, can you please repeat it? I could not hear you properly.
Yes, I was asking, can you please suggest some things to manage the menstrual cycle and hygiene?
Okay. So yes, first of all, healthy diet, support from the environment, कि एक दूसरे को support करें हम इस time पे, healthy खाना खाएं, और time to time अपने sanitary pads change करें, या फिर if we are using tampons तो उन्हें dispose करें, या cups को clean करें. और एक चीज मैं ऐड करना चाहती हूँ कि with respect to categories of girls with disability, we can use different products, men period products. So if you are a visually impaired girl, अगर आपको दिखाई नहीं देता है, तो आपके लिए मुझे ऐसा लगता है menstrual cup would be more useful, क्योंकि वो एक कंटेनर है, एक तरह का एक कंटेनर है, तो आपको पता चल जाएगा कि कब वो पूरा फिल हो गया है और कब आपको उसको क्लीन करके रीयूज करने की जरूरत है. Instead of using pads, क्योंकि pads पे you cannot really know कि कितना flow है उसके ऊपर, वो clean है या नहीं है, और आपके periods over हो गए हैं या नहीं हो गए. So that's an issue. और अगर आप wheelchair user हैं, आपकी लोअर बॉडी पैरालाइज्ड है, तो उस टाइम पे भी कप्स और टैम्पॉन्स पैड से ज्यादा इजी टू यूज रहते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि उस यू डोंट नीड टू गेट अप एंड यू डोंट नीड टू टेक इट ऑफ और पुट इट ऑन. आपको उसको हटाने के लिए या फिर उसको लगाने के लिए उठने की जरूरत पड़ेगी, जो कि एक व्हीलचेयर यूजर के लिए मुश्किल चीज है. किसी की हेल्प लेने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी अगर आप टेम्पॉन या फिर मेंस्ट्रुअल कप यूज करेंगे. उसका रीजन ये है कि वो आप बिना उठे भी इजीली कर पाएंगे इन अ सिटिंग पोजीशन. नेक्स्ट, इफ यू dealing with a intellectually disabled girl, कोई इंटेलेक्चुअली डिसेबल्ड है, थोड़ा सा कॉग्निशन उनका अगर अफेक्टेड है, तो उस टाइम पे मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि पैड्स सेफेस्ट ऑप्शन है, क्योंकि उसमें क्लॉथ और प्रोडक्ट का कांटेक्ट हो रहा है, तो मिनिमम डैमेज होगा बॉडी को. अगर होगा भी, वैसे तो नहीं होगा, चांसेस कम है. लेकिन अगर आप उन लोगों को टैम्पॉन्स और कप्स पकड़ा देंगे तो दे माइट एंड अप डैमेजिंग देयर ओन बॉडी. So that should not happen. So keeping in the mind self-reliance, independence, या फिर जिसको हम कहते हैं आत्मनिर्भरता, या फिर क्या बोलेंगे इजीनेस, कि किसी के लिए कौन सी चीज कितनी आसान बनाई जा सकती है, तो वो इन कुछ छोटे छोटे चीजों को दिमाग में रख के हम बना सकते हैं. और मुझे नहीं लगता इन चीजों को याद रखना या इन चीजों के बारे में सोचना बहुत ज्यादा मुश्किल है, बट बात ये है कि हम कभी कभी ध्यान ही नहीं देते इस तरफ. So that's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ankita. Now I would like to ask Prakhar sir. Sir, can you give us some suggestion to manage the cycle and hygiene?
Okay, so from my point of view, I think कि कुछ चीजें जो कि बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट हैं, जैसे कि पब्लिक प्लेसेस में एक जो टॉयलेट्स होते हैं या फिर एक डेजिग्नेटेड एरियाज होने चाहिए जहाँ पर स्पेशली सिर्फ फॉर वुमेन्स टू जस्ट मेक श्योर कि वो वहाँ पे जाएं और वो अपने आप को वहाँ पर वो हाइजीन मेंटेन कर सकें. पब्लिक प्लेसेस में ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है कि इस तरह का एक मैकेनिज्म डेवलप होना चाहिए. और द सेकंड थिंग व्हिच वाज आल्सो टोल्ड बाय अंकिता जी की एक हेल्दी डाइट, जो न्यूट्रिशन जो हमको रिक्वायर्ड है एक ताकि, क्योंकि हैवी ब्लड लॉस की वजह से इट हैज बीन सीन कि कई बार एनीमिया जो होता है वो काफी ज्यादा आ जाता है वुमेन्स में. तो दैट कैन आल्सो बी इम्प्रूव इफ वी टेक सम सप्लीमेंट्स which having the rich iron diet which I am talking about, कि iron की diet जो है वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लें. And the for the awareness I think कि IC materials की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है. और जिस तरह की हम साबुन के ऐड करते हैं, डिटर्जेंट्स के ऐड करते हैं, it's really important to advertise these things, sensitize people, sensitize community to just make sure कि हम उस लेवल पे वो सारी चीज़ें एक प्रोवाइड कर पाएँ जो कि एक वुमेन को जरूरत है. और पब्लिक सेफ्टी इट्स रियली इम्पोर्टेंट. पब्लिक हेल्थ के लिए हमको ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है कि हम एक डेजिग्नेटेड एरिया एक ऐसा बनाए जहाँ पर एक वुमेन जो है वो फील फ्री करे, वहाँ पर जा सके और वो अपने हाइजीन को मेंटेन कर सके.
That's amazing and a really very important suggestion to be taken care of. Thank you very much, Mr. Prakhar Gupta. Now, I would like to question Dr. Deepa Pavaskar, ma'am. Ma'am, as a gynecologist, do you have any experience that you can share or a message for the girls and women?
Yes, I would like to tell girls that be proud of it, that we are part of Red Pride. So it's our pride and it's a privilege. God has selected these girls for a special purpose. So we all are special. And special people behave specially. So you have to prove yourself special in every way. Number one, you say you're telling some quote. So I said, say hi to protection and bye-bye to irritation. Sometimes because of those bad and skin irritation, dermatitis, so many things happen. So instead of getting scared of this period, the other things are worrying more to the girls. Okay, with this pad, this happened. Sometimes even this happened. Previously, they were carefree. So carefree pads in between some I don't know, bad slot or something was there. So I had many patients that time. कि मैडम क्या करें पीरियड तो 7 दिन होता है लेकिन इचिंग पूरा महीना भर रहता है, क्या करने का? तो दैट इज dermatitis which comes later on because of the continuous contact of blood with the skin. So that's why those gel pads and all, it solidifies the menstrual flow, and you have pad dry all the time. So that was, and so one thing is say hi to protection and bye bye to irritation. So you will not get irritated all the way, skin irritation, nahi, mental irritation, nahi, other, just be happy and don't be fool. Wear pad and stay cool. So this is a natural process. You have to be cool. This too shall pass, we say. It's a matter of 4 days, 7 days, whichever it is. But it should be a happy, healthy, and important event in our life.
Actually, definitely, ma'am. I am sure कि इस वेबिनार के बाद सभी लोग कूल होने वाले हैं.
Yes. और जरा भी डरना नहीं है और प्राइड फील करना है कि we are special. That's the thing. You think you are special, you are special. Okay? And our this one, ऋतिक जी है, फिर प्रखर जी है, ऐसे अपना जो बेटर अदर पार्ट है, अपना भाई बोलो, डैडी बोलो, हस्बैंड बोलो, जो भी है, उनके सपोर्ट से हम क्या नहीं कर सकते? Because they are the one who's going to take care of us in these few 4 days, 4-5 days. They are the one who's providing us everything. So we should be thankful to them and be happy. It should be a happy event of our life.
Really?
Pain में कुछ दर्द विरद है तो I am there to look after. The pain part and discomfort part, that all I can tell you. What medicine to take, what to do. बाकी you said cool रहने.
Yes, very commitment, cool message.
And I believe in God. ना जब वो अपने साथ है तो सब कुछ हो जाता है, अपने आप हो जाएगा सब.
Definitely. Thank you very much, ma'am. Now I would like to ask Prakhar Gupta. So, what message would you like to give as a man?
As a man, I think just take care of your family members, of your nearby people. If they are having a trouble, they don't want to share anything, just ease them. Try to more sensitize them कि यार there is nothing to worried about. आप चीजें मेरे से भी शेयर कर सकते हो. There is no hesitation should be. और आप जितना ज़्यादा comfortable फील करना चाहते हो, क्या चीजें आपको जरूरत है, just let us know and we will provide you each and everything at each and every point. आपको जिस तरह की हेल्प चाहिए हम प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं. So we really need to make कि हमें ये अंडरस्टैंड होना बहुत जरूरी है कि हम आसपास में यदि हम पहले अपने लोगों को यदि हम सेंसिटाइज कर लेते हैं, हम उनको इस चीज़ के लिए मतलब बता देते हैं कि आपको जो भी जो बायोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस ये है, इससे आपको ना ही आपको डरने की ज़रूरत है और ना ही ये बातें किसी और को इस तरीके से बताने की ज़रूरत है ताकि सामने वाला डरे. तो ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है कि हम अपने लेवल पे इनिशिएटिव लें, हम उनकी केयर करें, हम उनके साथ बैठें, हम उनको सेंसिटाइज करें, हम उन्हें ये सारी बातें बताएं कि आपको जो भी चीज़ों की ज़रूरत है, ज़रूरी नहीं है कि वो आपको एक मॉम या आपको एक बहन ही ला के दे सकती है. इट्स रियली इम्पोर्टेंट टू जस्ट शेयर इट विद अस एंड आपको जो भी रिक्वायर्ड है. और ये सारी इनिशिएटिव्स जो है वो हमको सबसे पहले अपने घर से स्टार्ट करनी होगी. देन एंड ओनली फ्रॉम देयर ओनली वी विल बी एबल टू जस्ट कम अप विद द कम्युनिटी. या
थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रखर. आई एम श्योर सबको मैसेज बढ़िया मिल गया और मुझे कुछ शेयर करना होगा या जानना होगा ना तो मैं आपके पास जरूर आने वाला. थैंक यू वेरी मच. नाउ अंकिता, वुड यू लाइक टू गिव अ लास्ट मैसेज to all the viewers of ours?
So वैसे तो मैं बहुत सारे messages बीच में देख चुकी हूँ, but yeah, all I would like to say is कि थोड़ा सा अपने comfort zone या अपने abilities के बाहर सोच के देखिए, interact कीजिए उन लोगों से, उन लड़कियों से जो इस तरह की facilities में रहते हैं. आप easily किसी भी city में जाएंगे, खास करके दिल्ली में, तो आपको बहुत सारे स्पेशल रेजिडेंशियल इक्वली वहां खड़े होते हैं जहां उनकी भी फिजिकल और इमोशनल और मेंटल स्ट्रेंथ इक्वल लेवल पे काम करती है ना। तो कभी मैं बस इतना ही बोलना चाहती हूँ कि अगर आपके पास कभी भी टाइम हो तो टॉक टू सच पीपल एंड एक्सेप्ट कि अगर लैंग्वेज, कल्चर, कपड़े पहनने का स्टाइल, खाना, ये सब डाइवर्सिटी हो सकती है तो एबिलिटी भी डाइवर्सिटी है। इट्स नथिंग स्पेशल, इट्स नथिंग ऑर्डिनरी, इट्स just a part of diversity, just as language, color, height, weight or culture are. So that is what I wanted to say. तो अगर आपके पास कभी भी टाइम हो तो try to know about such issues and broaden your horizon.
थैंक यू वेरी मच अंकिता। यस डेफिनेटली टाइम निकाल के जरूर हम इस पे काम जरूर करेंगे बिकॉज वी ऑल आर इक्वल। नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन विद हिमांशी। हिमांशी, आप कुछ लास्ट मैसेज दे दो हमारे सभी दर्शकों को।
Thank you, Ritik. I'll keep it short and sweet, as I had last time as well. That talking normalizes everything. So please talk about it and make it as normal as you can. That's all. Thank you.
Amazing. छोटे से में बड़ा काम। Thank you very much, Himanshi. So this was all about our discussion. The discussion was really very healthy and informative. Thank you to all the panelists to give such amazing information.
Thank you, Ritik, for keeping us here.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Priyanshi.
Thank you, everyone. महीने के वो 5 दिन, महीने के वो 5 दिन जिसमें तुम एक बेटी को अपवित्र बताते हो, जिसमें तुम एक बेटी को अपवित्र बताते हो। क्या खूब सोच है साहब। घर में लक्ष्मी को कैद कर मंदिर में देवी को पूजने जाते हो। घर में लक्ष्मी को कैद कर मंदिर में देवी को पूजने जाते हो। With this, I would like to call Miss Priyanshi Rajput to express her feelings about period in a poem. Welcome, Priyanshi.
Thank you, Jessica. जो मेरा टॉपिक है वो सॉरी पर मैं इसको बोल नहीं सकती। क्यों? क्या है ना, क्योंकि जो मेरी दादी, मेरी नानी, मेरी माँ ने सिखाया है तो आप समझ लीजिएगा कि टॉपिक क्या है इसका। शुरू करती हूँ। अलग थाली, अलग बिस्तर, अलग सबसे बिठाया है। अलग थाली, अलग बिस्तर, अलग सबसे बिठाया है। माँ ने आज उसको सबके आगे बीमार बताया। पूरा दिन उसने एक अलग कमरे में बिताया है। पूरा दिन उसने एक अलग कमरे में बिताया है। मंदिर में भी जाना उसका कुछ दिन निषेध कराया है। सुनो सुनो सुनो, आज फिर महीना आया है। आज फिर महीना आया। बिलखते देखा बेटी को, बिलखते देखा बेटी को तो बाबा ने सवाल उठाया है। माँ ने नजरें झुका के पेट में दर्द बताया। भाई भी आ गया, भाई भी आ गया, बोला दवाई लाया है। माँ ने गुस्से में कहा, माँ ने गुस्से में कहा, आखिर हमने भी तो सहा था, तुमने क्यों तमाशा बनाया है। कर लो डोंग, कर लो डोंग, दवाई मत खाना और शांत रहो, शांत रहो, अच्छा नहीं लगता। आज फिर एक माँ ने अपनी बेटी को दर्द सहना सिखाया। सुनो सुनो सुनो, आज फिर महीना आया है। आज फिर महीना आया। पूजा क्यों नहीं की तुमने, आज इस कमरे में क्यों हो। अरे आज पढ़ने क्यों नहीं। माँ ने और मैंने मिलके बोझ उठाया। मेरी चुप्पी पर माँ के बहाने बना, मेरी चुप्पी पर माँ के बहाने बनाना और मेरा शर्म मुझे आज यहाँ पहुंचाया है। सुनो सुनो सुनो, आज फिर महीना आया है। आज फिर महीना आया है। जैसे कि हम जानते हैं पीरियड से एक नया जीवन हम लोगों को मिलता है। तो उसके ऊपर मैंने एक लाइन लिखी है, जीवन मिलता जिस प्रक्रिया से उसे ही मेरी शरण बना डाला, और लोगों ने तो दर्द सहना जैसे मेरा धर्म बना डाला, और लोगों ने तो दर्द सहना जैसे मेरा धर्म बना डाला। माँ ने सिखाया था बचपन कभी ना भरने वाला जख्म बना डाला, और कुछ लोग होंगे अभी जो बेशरम कहकर नवाजेंगे मुझे। शुक्रिया आपका, क्योंकि मैंने तो तुम्हारे डकोसलों का दुपट्टा हटा डाला। अब नहीं रख सकते मुझे चुप और तुम, क्योंकि मैंने तो इस घुटन का किस्सा ही मिटा डाला, और लोगों ने तो दर्द सहना जैसे मेरा धर्म बना डाला। इस पोयम से मैं आपको एक मैसेज जरूर देना चाहूंगी कि क्या है ना, वो हमारी आदत पुरानी है दर्द सहने की, थोड़ा वक्त तो लेगी जाने में। हाँ, दर्द में हूँ क्योंकि पीरियड्स आए हैं, अभी मुश्किल तो होगी बताने में, अभी झिझक तो होगी बताने में। तुम काम बस इतना करना, सवाल कम पूछना, मदद करना दर्द छुपाने में, और अगर हम उम्र हो तो पूछ लेना आकर, वरना साथ देना राज छुपाने में। वो क्या है ना, आदत पुरानी है दर्द सहने की, थोड़ा वक्त तो लेगी जानने में। बहुत थैंक यू प्रियांशी। Okay, now we will have some interesting game and gain lots of knowledge by polling about menstrual hygiene. So for that, I would like to call Miss Gauri. Welcome, Gauri. Hello, everyone. Hope you can. To share, or else you can go through the link and join us on the Slido to polling. Are everyone excited? Please thumbs up if all are excited. So everyone are into poll, and let's gain a knowledge. So here come. Do you know the different period products? If yes, name them. I repeat, do you know the different periods product? Please name them. Yeah, I got the answer. Yes, it is a menstrual cup, tampons, pads, again. And the reusable pad, tampons, and menstrual cup. Yes, reusable pads also can be used. Any other? Okay, here is our next question. Signs of a balanced periods.
I love
Signs of a balance periods. Yes, here we got answers. Your menstrual cycle is between 26 to 35 days. Your period is pain-free. You only bleed during the days you have your period. Yes, and a regular periods. Let us join the quiz. Here are some questions and your time is started now. How to self-care in the periods? How do you self-care? By the yoga or eating healthy diet? Of course. You have only 15 seconds to answer. Fast, fast, fast. Okay, we got the results also. Yes, we need to self-care in the periods by both the options. It is 80% of answer. Third option, both. We have to do yoga and even also eat healthy food. And the Priya is the gave answer in a 0.12 seconds. And here is our second question. Is period blood is dirty blood? Yes or no? Your time is already started.
I currently my teenage.
Is the period blood is dirty blood? As we can even see the answers in the comment section also. Here is the result. No is the answer. We got it as 55% as the answer. Yes, our period blood is not a dirty blood. And here Ritik has given it in the 0.16 seconds. Yes, third question is here. Who do you speak about your periods problem? Do you speak with your family member, friends, or gynecologist, and all of the above? Yeah. Here are the answer. First, family members is of 10%, and all of them. We have to speak to all of them. It is 90% of answer. And again, Ritik has given answer in 0.22 seconds. Yes, here is the fourth question. Periods are shameful. Are our periods are shameful? Yes or no? No, it is 85% answer is no. Yes, it is, our periods are not shameful. We are very proud about that we bleed. And again, it is Ritik giving answer in 0.25 seconds. Congratulations, Ritik. And 4 out of 4 answers has given correct answers. Thank you everyone for your delightful responses and even your participation. And really we enjoyed a lot here. Thank you and over to MC. Thank you, Ms. Gauri. Now I take over to Harsha.
I guess
Menstrual bracelet.
I was not able to unmute because the hostess muted me. I was sorry. Okay. Okay, now, thank you, Ms. Priyanshi, for your wonderful poem, and Gauri for your poll. That was really interesting. And now, I'm going to, what is a menstrual bracelet? So, basically saying about menstrual bracelet, it is a global symbol of menstruation. So, this bracelet consists of 28 elements. In them, 5 of them are red and 23 of them are white. This 28 stands for the average length of the menstrual cycle and 5 for the average length of a period. And May is the 5th month of a year. So we celebrate Menstrual Hygiene Day on 28th of May every year. So by wearing this bracelet, we show that periods are nothing to hide. Okay, now we got to know what it is, and now we will have to get to the virtual menstruation bracelet as a token of participation. I request Bindu ma'am for sharing the link.
thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing the link. It is always important to know when something has reached its end. Closing circles, shutting doors, finishing chapters, it doesn't matter what we call it. So I would like to request Harsha, kindly unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. So now I take my full pleasure to invite Ms. Anaban Patel, Deputy International Commissioner Guides, to give final remarks. Welcome, ma'am.
Please unmute yourself.
Oh, yes. Good evening, everybody. So आज मेंस्ट्रुअल हाइजीन डे है एंड मैं देख रही हूँ, मैं कब से आप लोगों को सबको सुन रही हूँ एंड मुझे इतना अच्छा लग रहा है क्योंकि इतने सालों में फील्ड में काम करने के बाद आज ऐसा लग रहा है कि यंग बच्चे कुछ वॉइस लेके आ रहे हैं और एक ऐसे सब्जेक्ट पे जो सब्जेक्ट ज्यादा समाज में बोला नहीं जाता. सो मुझे तो सैल्यूट मैं करती हूँ ये रेड प्राइड टीम को और पैनलिस्ट को भी मैं सुन रही थी, सबने इतने अच्छे आंसर दिए. जो भी लोग जुड़े हैं लाइक डॉक्टर दीपा पवास्कर, डॉक्टर आरुषि केहर, डॉक्टर अमित आयुष, प्रियदर्शी, मिस्टर प्रखर गुप्ता, अंकिता सचदेव, हिमांशी तोमर और जो भी अपनी टीम से लोग जुड़े हैं, मैं आप सबको ग्रेटिट्यूड फील करती हूँ क्योंकि ये सब्जेक्ट में बोलने वाले बहुत कम लगे और स्पेशली मैन. सो आई एम इम्प्रेस्ड विद ऋतिक बिकॉज ऋतिक ने पूरा मतलब मुझे लगा कि आप एंड प्रखर दोनों ने इतने बढ़िया से ये टॉपिक में बात करी क्योंकि विमेन बात करती है बट मैन बहुत कम बातें करते हैं. एंड आज ये बात मुझे इसलिए अच्छी भी लग रही है क्योंकि हम बहुत अपने अपने वे से देखते हैं चीजों को और आप अगर इसको देश के वे से देखें तो आप ये सोचो कि पूरे देश में 36 से 40% से विमेन इवन पैड्स भी यूज नहीं करती है और ऐसे एरियाज में मैं काम करती हूँ जहाँ पे विमेन पैंटीज भी नहीं पहनती, सो पैड कैसे रखेगी. सो एक मतलब अब हमको ऐसा लगता है कि हम सिटी में ज्यादा रहते हैं तो हमको पता नहीं है कि विलेज की प्रॉब्लम क्या है, बट इस पे बोलना, इस पे ये टॉपिक पे बात करना वो सबसे पहला स्टेप है जो आप लोगों ने किया। ऑब्वियसली विदाउट नॉलेज बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स अभी आ रहे हैं। करीबन 23 मिलियन विमेन है जो ड्रॉप आउट होती है जब उसका फर्स्ट पीरियड चालू होता है। सो ये कोई छोटा मैं मानती हूँ कि न्यूमेरिक्स में नहीं है ये डेटा। अगर हम देखें पूरे देश के हिसाब से तो ये बहुत बड़ा डेटा है। हम देश के लिए कुछ काम करना चाहते हैं, बट मैं मानती हूँ कि हम खुद क्या करें। अगर हम अपनी मेंस्ट्रुअल हाइजीन को भी अगर हम ठीक से रखते हैं, खुद के लिए करते हैं, तब भी हम देश के डेटा में बहुत बड़ा काम कर सकते हैं। सो मेंस्ट्रुअल हाइजीन में 5th लेवल पे है। ये हाइजीन ठीक से नहीं रखने के कारण आज 5th बिगेस्ट किलर फॉर वुमेन ये मेंस्ट्रुअल हाइजीन बना है। 5वां नंबर है कि कौन से कारण से विमेन की सबसे ज्यादा डेथ हो रही है, वो है मेंस्ट्रुअल हाइजीन। सो मैं मानती हूँ कि आप लोगों ने जो भी बातें करी हैं और इतने टाइम से मतलब इस तरीके का मूवमेंट आप लोग जो चला रहे हो, बहुत ब्यूटीफुली चला रहे हो। कितना ब्यूटीफुल आप पोएम, कितना अच्छा था जब आप बोल रहे थे, मेरे गूज़बम्प खड़े हो रहे थे, क्योंकि मुझे इतना अच्छा लग रहा था कि आप लोगों ने ये टॉपिक पे बात करना चालू किया। अपने देश में इतनी सारी बहनें हैं जिनके डिवोर्स शायद मेनोपॉज के कारण हो रहे हैं, और पीरियड्स में जो मूड स्विंग्स होते हैं, वो मूड स्विंग्स होने के कारण भी हमारे सामाजिक इश्यूज बहुत होते हैं। हमको ये पता ही नहीं है कि पीरियड्स के कारण हमारे मूड स्विंग्स हो रहे हैं, जो क्रैम्प्स हम हो रहे हैं। मैं देख रही हूँ कि हमारी टीम में जितने भी यंग लड़कियां हैं, मोस्ट हॉलीडेज मेंस्ट्रुअल टाइम पे वो लोग लेती हैं। आप तो वर्किंग डेज भी उसके कम हो जाते हैं क्योंकि उसको बहुत पेन होता है। तो ये सब चीजें टोटल वर्ल्ड में देखी नहीं जाती है। हमको लगता है ये छोटी चीज है, बट आप देखो कि कितने वर्किंग आवर्स होंगे जो वर्किंग आवर्स कॉम्प्रोमाइज होते हैं बिकॉज हम लोग इसको जानते नहीं ठीक से। और आज मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, पूरी टीम को मैं सराहना चाहती हूँ कि आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हो, रेड प्राइड टीम। और आपको अगर फील्ड में भी कभी काम करना है, आपको लगता है गाँव में जाना है, सो आई कैन इन्वाइट यू टू इन माई अडॉप्टेड विलेज, जहाँ पे ये पूरा कैंपेन आप कर सकते हो विद दिस टाइप ऑफ वुमेन जो फील्ड में है, जिसके पास शायद पैड नहीं है, जिसके पास पैड का हाइजीन नहीं है। अगर कॉटन पैड्स में वो यूज करती है, शायद पैड का हाइजीन भी नहीं है। मैं देख रही थी हिमांशी इतने अच्छे से उसने आंसर किए हैं एंड शी हैज लॉट ऑफ नॉलेज अबाउट इट। मुझे लगा कि आप में से कई लोगों को मैं फील्ड में ले जाना चाहूंगी, और हम अगर विमेन के साथ मैन के साथ भी ये बातें चालू करें। मैंने ऐसे बहुत सारे परिवार देखे हैं जहाँ पे अनटचेबिलिटी का टाइम हो जाता है जब ये पीरियड्स होते हैं, और ये सब चीजें ऐसी हैं जो मेंटली डिप्रेस कर देती है। एक तो हम पीरियड्स के कारण भी मेंटली डिप्रेस होते हैं, और अगर हम घर में भी अगर हमको कोई रेजिस्ट करता है तो और ज्यादा डिप्रेशन आता है। मैं अपना एक इंसिडेंट बताती हूँ कि हम लोग एक दर्शन करने गए थे और मेरे साथ छोटी लड़कियां थी, सब यंग गर्ल्स आके धीरे से मुझे बोलते, दीदी मेरा फर्स्ट डे है, मैं क्या मंदिर में आ सकती हूँ क्या? सो मैंने हंस के बोला, अरे यार आ जाओ, उसमें तो क्या सोच रहे हो आप। बट उसके बाद फिर मैंने उसको समझाया कि क्यों नहीं जाना है। तो ऐसा कोई जगह ऐसी नहीं है जहाँ पे हम जा नहीं सकते। ये सब आप सब्जेक्ट्स ले चुके हो और अब बहुत ब्यूटीफुली आपने इसको बोला है। मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आज के दिन मुझे दर्शक ने स्पेशली इनवाइट किया और बोला कि आप आएंगे क्या। तो ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स तो दिल के नजदीक रहते हैं। आप सबको फिर से ग्रेटिट्यूड एंड बहुत सारा थैंक यू कि आपने ऐसी ऐसी चीजों पे बोलना चालू किया। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, I would like to request everyone to turn on their cameras so that we can have a nice group picture, a small family picture with all of you. फटाफट से कैमरा ऑन कर लो जल्दी से। ओ माय गॉड, अरे फोटो के लिए तो सभी ने फटाफट कैमरा ऑन कर लिया। अमेजिंग। Let's click pictures. Quickly turn on your cameras. Yes. Let's have a big smile. थोड़ा smile करते हैं. नहीं नहीं, BSG Pride. थोड़ा और smile. Yes, this one amazing. Yes, रुको 1 2 3 say cheese. Yes, amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I would maintain that thanks for the highest form of thought, and that gratitude is happiness doubled by wonder. So now I would like to call Miss Madhushri KS to deliver her gratitude.
Thank you so much, Ritik. So happy Menstrual Hygiene Day to everyone again. And yes, we have come to the end of this whole program, a great grand event. And on this platform, I would like to thank Ms. Darshana Pavaskar, Joint Director of Guides, for her support and for making this event grand success from the back end. And I would like to thank Ritik for being our panel moderator, and a great thank you to Anarben Patel ma'am for being with us whole event and blessing all of us and sharing the motivations to all the young girls here. And then I would like to thank Mr. Pratik for giving his valuable time, and thanks a lot to Dr. Deepa ma'am for sharing so experience, and you have a lot of experience which has been shared in a good way to all the young generation present over here, and it is a really happy to have you here. And then I would like to thank Miss Ankita. Ankita, thank you so much for being with us, and she's here with us physically, and we are very happy to meet her in person, and a great knowledge person, and she is so expressive and with a beauty. And thank you so much. And thank you so much to Miss Himanshi Tomar for helping me at the back end and being a panel member. Thank you so much. And a great thank you to all my MCs, Miss Gauri, Miss Priyanshi, Miss Jessica, Miss Harsha, and Mr. Ritik again, and Mr. Nobin for helping me at the back end. Thank you so much. And a big heartfelt thanks to all our participants and the YouTube viewers. Without you, this event could not be a grand success. Thank you so much, and I request everyone to take up this a great initiative from your end, and thank you everyone, and keep creating awareness and spreading awareness to each and every girl around you, so that and help them at their menstrual days, and help them to know better about it. And thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Ritik.
Thank you, Madhushri. Now I request Ms. Harsha to share the feedback link in the chat box so that everyone can share their valuable comments in the chat box. Ms. Harsha, please share the feedback link in the chat box.
Yes, I have already given.
Request everyone to kindly fill the form with the valuable comments. And it will be open up to till 15 minutes. And now it's time to end the meeting. So for that, now I request everyone to rise up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे।
Everyone for joining us to celebrate everyone's pride here. So this is Gauri, Priyanshi, Jashika, Harsha and Ritik signing off. Bye-bye.